Hello and thank you for joining us on Channels Television. You're welcome to the news at 5. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. The federal government has launched an investigation into the deadly gas incident at a mining site in Wase local government of Plateau State, warning that companies found violating safety regulations will face stiff sanctions. Earlier reports by the state government confirmed that at least 33 miners lost their lives while over 20 others were hospitalized following exposure to suspected toxic gas at the site. Officials from the Federal Ministry of Solid Minerals Development and the Plateau State government inspected the remote site, which was sealed off to prevent further exposure. Permanent Secretary Mr. Farouk Yabo described the incident as devastating, citing preliminary reports of carbon monoxide and sulfide compounds and noted early signs of regulatory non-compliance. The State Commissioner for Environment, Mr. Peter Guam, emphasized the need for stricter mining enforcement and confirmed prior suspensions of mining activities to improve safety. Authorities say the probe will guide sanctions, enforcement actions, and nationwide safety reforms. Following the tragic attack that claimed over 30 lives in Ibui district in Arewa local government area of Kebbi State, the State Police Command has strengthened security in the area. According to a statement signed by the State Police Public Relations Officer on behalf of the State Commissioner of Police, additional personnel and operational assets have been deployed in collaboration with the military and other security agencies. Sustained patrols are also ongoing to restore stability. Preliminary investigations indicate that the attackers, suspected to be Lakurawa militants, crossed into Bui district from Gudu local government in Sokoto State. The police command is urging residents there to report any suspicious movement through official security channels and avoid confronting armed criminals directly. Authorities confirm that efforts are ongoing to apprehend the perpetrators and prevent further attacks. The Nigerian Navy ship NNS BEECROFT has handed over 5 bags of cannabis sativa seized during a targeted intelligence operation to officials of the NDLEA Festac Area Command. According to a Navy statement, the 500-kilogram consignment was intercepted on February the 18th after the NNS BEECROFT Quick Response Team, acting on credible intelligence, stopped a van suspected of transporting illicit drugs around Abule-Osun in Amuwo-Odofin local government of Lagos State. During the handover, Commodore Awuyo Adams-Aliu, commander of NNS BEECROFT, emphasized that the successful interception highlights the Navy's ongoing efforts under Vice Admiral Idi Abbas Admiralty Medal to curb illegal maritime activities in Nigeria. The confiscated narcotics are being handed over to the Deputy Commander of Narcotics, Adijumo Gbengayo, for further investigation and appropriate action. Nigeria's maritime security is under the spotlight as the Western Naval Command kicks off Operation Awkward. The flag officer commanding Western Naval Command Rear Admiral Abubakar Mustafa says the harbor defense exercise is a direct push from the Chief of the Naval Staff to maintain a world-class professional force. With the Nigerian Navy now ranked top 22 globally, Admiral Mustafa highlights that international partners are increasingly seeking to train with Nigeria's elite special forces. The 2-day exercise focuses on harbor defense, stretching from naval bases to fairway buoys, utilizing high-speed boats and units from Takwa Bay and Badagry.
So we are gathered here today to flag off Western Naval Command Operation Awkward 2026. This exercise represents a deliberate and purposeful effort to test our collective readiness and reinforce the security architecture of our harbor and adjoining waters. In an increasingly complex maritime environment, threats to shipping, installations, and personnel demand vigilance, discipline, and swift response. Exercises of this nature provide a platform to rehearse procedures, validate communication channels, and ensure that every unit and individual understands their role in safeguarding our assets and maintaining operational superiority within Western Naval Command area of responsibility.
Most partner countries want to come to Nigeria to train with the Nigerian Navy because of the high level of professionalism displayed by our Navy. And this also attests to the recent ranking of our Navy as top 22 in the world. And most countries want to train with us, want to train with our special forces. And this exercise gives the opportunity for our men to be more proficient in their equipment and also in their seamanship. And this overall helps in stabilizing the maritime space for economic activities to thrive.
The Nigerian Red Cross Society, in collaboration with the National Inland Waterways Authority, NDLEA, have conducted a water safety and flood simulation exercise in 12 riverine communities across Kebbi State. The exercise was held in Yauri local government, where 14 persons recently lost their lives in a boat accident during a wedding procession. Similar activities were also carried out in Gaski local government and Shanga local government area of the state.
Officials of the Nigerian Red Cross Society, the National Inland Waterways Authority, the Federal Road Safety Corps, and the Hydroelectric Power Producing Areas Development Commission gathered at the riverbank in Yauri Emirate to demonstrate practical rescue operations and resuscitating techniques for drowning victims. The exercise, which has been implemented by the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Cross Crescent Societies with funding from the European Union Humanitarian Aid, is part of efforts to curb recurring boat mishaps in Yauri Emirate of Kebbi State. The exercise aims to strengthen community resilience and promote proactive safety measures, especially communities that largely depend on water transportation.
In Kebbi here, we are implementing in about 6 local governments and 12 communities, while in Bayelsa we are implementing in 3 local governments and 6 communities, same as Bayelsa, 3 local governments and 6 communities. Perhaps we have also done it in other projects about 9 states.
Selecting Yauri is very strategic in the sense that this is where water activities happening day in, day out. And then you can also bear me witness, just 3 days or last week, something happened, an incident happened where 14 lives were lost. So this is part of the preparedness for people to get prepared to respond to emergencies.
Similar exercises have been implemented in Kogi State and 6 other local government areas in Kebbi State, as it's considered a part of the advocacy to ensure water safety across the country.
We started since 2005. We do the sensitization through the radio. We also do the sensitization. Each and every market, the NDLEA mobilize marine police, civil defense to sensitize people in order to save life.
Representatives of the Nigeria Police Marine Unit, Hyperdeck, NDLEA and the FRSC, as well as officials of the NDLEA Yauri area office, participated in the flood simulation. According to the facilitators, the exercise will move to Bayelsa State, where 3 local government areas and 6 communities will also be covered.
In Lagos, the state government says it has deployed digital innovations to deepen its malaria and tuberculosis elimination across the state. The State Commissioner for Health, Professor Akin disclosed that the state government has digitized 514 private providers, recording a 5% malaria positivity rate. He made the comment at an event in Lagos, which also featured the launch of community-based molecular TB diagnostics aimed at closing the 66% detection gap in Lagos State.
Lagos State top government officials from the Ministry of Health, national program leaders and private partners in the health sector meet in Ikeja, Lagos to advance a dual elimination strategy targeting malaria and tuberculosis. The conversation is focused on eradicating malaria and expanding tuberculosis diagnostics through digital innovation.
We reached over 75,000 patients. We proved that rapid tests can deliver accurate diagnosis through the private sector. And because of our efforts, Lagos now qualifies as a malaria elimination zone.
The State Commissioner for Health, Professor Akin, explains that 2 indicators such as malaria prevalence and malaria test positivity now guide policy decisions in the state. And since testing has become mandatory, positive malaria cases are down below 1% in March 2025, confirming that 95% of fever cases in Lagos are not malaria.
We wanted to truly understand what the disease burden of malaria is in Lagos so that we can drive an intelligent program towards pre-elimination and elimination.
On the issue of tuberculosis, the Commissioner reveals that Lagos accounts for 9% of Nigeria's TB burden, with only 3,565 of an estimated 6,038 cases detected in the second quarter of 2025.
We're really trying to come to the bottom of the narrative to unpack exactly what's going on, to unpack the drivers of these diseases, and to ensure that we can put interruptions in space and ensure that Lagos can move our indices in the direction that we can all be proud of.
Other states are advised to emulate Lagos' data-driven approach to improve tuberculosis treatment and coverage.
As a country, and every state needs to be challenged, need to watch what Lagos State is doing.
The Chairman House Committee on Infectious Diseases at the Federal House of Representatives and other speakers applaud the state for building on its malaria successes to scale tuberculosis diagnostics.
His Excellency Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu must be commended for their leadership in steering the state to a free malaria state. I am very much convinced that if Lagos State gets it right, Nigeria will get it right.
Delivering the key address on behalf of Governor Sanwo-Olu is the Secretary to the state government, who reaffirms the government's commitment to strengthen healthcare system in the state.
Together, we will build a healthier Lagos State, stronger, safer, and unstoppable. And with the collective resolve of our people and you, our dear partners, we shall deliver a Lagos that is healthier, stronger, and future-ready.
The high point of the event is the unveiling of tuberculosis diagnostic scale-up, tagged End TB Now, signaling a new phase in the state's integrated disease elimination drive.
Welcome back after the break. Plateau State Governor Caleb Mutfwang has flags off road projects in Bassa and Jos North local government areas. Details after this. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're still watching the news at 5 right here on Channels Television. It's off to Plateau State now, where Governor Caleb Mutfwang has flagged off the construction of the 39.7-kilometer Jebu-Bassa-Binchin-Buyo Road in Bassa local government area and the 2.3-kilometer Sabonlay Corner-Shagare Road in Jos North local government area of the state. According to the governor, the projects are designed to unlock economic activities, strengthen security response, and restore confidence among residents as the state government pushes to reconnect rural and urban corridors through strategic infrastructure development. Our correspondent, Percy Dabang, tells us more.
Governor Caleb Mutfwang arrived at the project site for the twin flag off ceremonies amid jubilation from residents and stakeholders, signaling renewed hope for communities long cut off by poor road access, flooding, and decades of neglect.
Local Government Council.
A project at the 39.7-kilometer Jebu-Bassa-Binchin-Buyo Road in Bassa local government area and the 2.3-kilometer Sabonlay Corner-Shagare Road in Jos North local government area of the state. Speaking at the event in Bassa, Governor Mutfwang described the road as a fulfilled campaign promise and a personal commitment to the people, stating its relevance to the development of the area.
In the campaign, I made a promise that God, keeping us alive and granting us the enablement, we will change the story of this road. Today is the beginning of the fulfillment of that dream. And that is what governance is all about for me. I have said it oftentimes that I'm not a politician. I'm only in politics to serve the people of Plateau State.
According to the state government, 31 road projects have been activated and new ones awarded under the administration of Governor Mutfwang.
Those traverse through several communities in Basa local government areas to our border with Kaduna State, which will serve as an inter-state link and will go a long way in reducing responses times to health, care and security emergency, and to also eliminate the hardship faced by the farmers in transporting their farm produce and from farm to the market.
The project is a delight to the people as they expected it to bring relief to farmers and traders in the area.
This road is our lifeline. Its construction represents a road to economic liberation, a road to social integration, a road to security, and a road to development.
The infrastructure drive then moved to Jos North, where the governor flagged off the 2.3-kilometer Sabonlayi Konan-Shagari road, including a two-span bridge expected to end years of flooding and poor connectivity for several neighborhoods. Percy Dabang, Channels Television News.
The Northeast Development Commission, NEDC, has flagged off the reconstruction of the first phase of the 77-kilometer Damaturu-Magza Road in Yobe State. The exercise is coming a week after Channels Television reported the deplorable state of the road, which connects southern Borno. Flagging off the reconstruction, the Managing Director of the Commission, Mr. Mohammed Al-Kali, alongside Governor Maimala Buni of Yobe State, said the second phase of the project, the 65-kilometer Magza-Biu Road in Borno State, would soon be considered in the second phase.
This is the Magza-Biu Road, a portion of the 133 kilometers Damaturu-Magza-Biu Road, connecting Yobe State to southern Borno. Several attempts to repair the road have failed, as travelers have tales of security threats on the road. The Northeast Development Commission is partnering the Yobe State government and is coming to the rescue of motorists as the management team flags off the reconstruction of the first phase of the 77-kilometer project from Damaturu-Magza.
His action and our intention today has brought us here to do a flag off of the first phase of this great road, Damaturu to Magza. I was just joking with my colleague, Dr. Garba Ilya, when he told me that this road is from Damaturu to Magza. I said it must cross into Borno State. And I want to assure His Excellency that we will make all effort to ensure that this road is done as we started today without any break to make sure it is being completed.
The second phase of the 65-kilometer Magza-Biu Road is also on the works. According to the Commission, Governor Maimala Buni applauded the Commission for the intervention, promising to complement the efforts of the government.
The increased pressure on the roads in the last few years have caused failure on some portions of the road, making it necessary for reconstruction. Following this development, the Yobe State government found it expedient to approach the Northeast Development Commission for the reconstruction of this very important road. I am happy to state that our discussions with the Commission have been very fruitful, whose outcome we are witnessing today.
The management team also inspected the newly reconstructed Goja Bridge that was washed away during the 2024 rainy season.
Welcome to Business News. Nigeria's domestic debt rose to 77.81 trillion naira as of September 2025, reflecting the federal government's continued reliance on the local debt market. This is according to the latest data published by the Debt Management Office on its official website. The figure highlights the dominance of federal bonds in the country's domestic debt profile and underscores the government's strategy of blending long-term and short-term borrowing instruments. The chairman of the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission, MB Shehu, has commended President Bola Tinubu for signing a new executive order mandating the direct remittance of oil and gas revenues into the Federation account. In a statement, the Commission described the directive as a bold and constitutionally grounded reform aimed at restoring transparency, blocking revenue leakages, and strengthening the revenue base of the federal, state, and local governments. RMAFC noted that prior to the order, structural and legal provisions within the Petroleum Industry Act allowed for multiple deductions from oil and gas revenues, including management fees, frontier exploration allocations, and other charges. These deductions, it said, significantly reduced net remittances to the Federation account and constrained fiscal capacity across the three tiers of government. The Core Personal Consumption Expenditures PCE Price Index, a key gauge of consumer spending and inflation, posted a larger than expected increase. Excluding food and energy, the index rose 0.4%, reflecting changes in the prices of goods and services purchased by consumers. This consecutive rise points to a steady upward trend in consumer spending and, by extension, inflation. Given the core PCE's role as a primary measure of inflationary pressures, this increase carries particular significance for the broader economy. U.S. GDP growth has slowed according to the latest economic data. The economy expanded at an annualized rate of 1.4%, measuring the inflation-adjusted value of all goods and services produced. This growth rate came in well below the forecast of 2.8%. While economists had anticipated a moderation compared to the previous month, the actual figure fell short of expectations. GDP growth is a key indicator of economic health, and this slowdown may point to potential challenges ahead. And outside our shores, U.S. President Donald Trump's sweeping global tariffs have been struck down by the U.S. Supreme Court. This, indeed, is a major blow to the president's economic agenda. With a 6.3 majority, the Supreme Court rules President Trump exceeded his authority when he imposed tariffs via a law reserved for national emergencies. The court's decision represents a rare check on President Trump's broad use of executive authority. Meanwhile, the UK government says it's working with the US to understand how the overturning of President Trump's tariffs will affect the UK. And that's the news at 5. Many thanks for watching. I'm Ayotunde Balogun.